What is up, action takers? How are you doing? Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you're feeling well. I'm trying to think of my word for this year. Last year, my word was resilient, and I truly lived into the word resilient. I have to tell you, I truly lived into the word resilient. I was met with a lot of challenges, a lot of difficulties, and being resilient was huge. That was huge for me. I'm still kind of thinking about my word for this year. I have a feeling it's going to be the word action. And a lot of that has to do with our Take Action community and the goals I've set for our Take Action community this year. And so I feel like the word is action. I was feeling about that word today. I was feeling about the word action. I was thinking, I need to take action on my day. What actions can I take today? What are the who are the people, and what are the things that the people in our Take Action community need from me? And it's truly to take action. So I feel like that's going to be my word. I'm not 100% committed yet, but I'm curious as to what your word is. If you're catching this replay, drop it in the comments. I will certainly be reading those because I'm curious as to what your word of the year is. In the post that I set out for this Making Moves with Michael, our very first one in January, I skipped last week, I was away, but I'm here. This is our very first Making Moves with Michael, and it's of the new year in January. And I thought it'd be a really good one because everybody does the same thing every single year. January 1st hits, and we say, I have all of these great New Year's resolutions. I have all of these great New Year's goals. I have all of my new year ahead of me. I'm planning, I'm strategic. I have the tools, I have the people. All these different things are happening. And then, I don't know, about 2 months in, half the year in, we fall off of our goals and we're stressed out about it. Or we're accomplishing our goals, but we don't feel completely accomplished. And so I wanted to touch on this as to whether you are, go ahead, you're hitting your goals, let's go, good for you, or you've already dropped off. Today's January 6th, and you might have already dropped off your goals. This resonates deeply with me because I feel the latter. I feel like I've already dropped off on some of my goals. I feel that I had all of these thoughts, these ambitions in December going into January. And then here we are, January 6th, and I'm like, ooh, I haven't even tackled them yet. I haven't even written them down yet. I haven't even done the things that I promised myself I would do starting January 1. We all know not really January 1, but right around that time. And so I want to be vulnerable with you and share that. And that's what I also put in the post, that I'm going to share my vulnerability, my own struggles with this, as well as my wins with this, because that goes along. They go along together. So I want to jump into this. The first part of this that we're going to tackle is our strengths, and how do we double down on our strengths so that we don't get burnt out throughout the year, so that we don't get burnt out 6 months into the year. So I'm going to touch on 3 points there, and then I'm going to touch on 3 points in the space of our weaknesses and where we're struggling and how I can help you with that. And of course, my own personal story in all of this. Let's see, maybe I'll start there. I wish there was some people on live with me right now. They're not. You're not. If you're watching this right now, you're not live with me right now. That's all good. But I think that what I'm going to share with you in terms of the strengths and weaknesses and the 3 tips I have for each, or the 6 tips I have as a whole, will resonate with you better if I just tell you about what's going on with me right now. So it's January 6th, and some of the goals that I had in or have for January 6th have been to go to sleep earlier, to wake up earlier, to journal every day, to meditate every day, to have more of a routine throughout my day, throughout my week, so that I could accomplish my goals. I've also had this idea. I'm saying it's an idea because I haven't put it into action yet, or that might be part of the strength part, is to set up a 12-week plan for all of the different goals I have. So I feel like I've fallen off because today is the first day that I journaled. However, today I also woke up at 7:30. I could say there's a lot of reasons. Tenley has been sick. That's my daughter. Tenley's been sick, and a couple other things have happened. Another couple factors have happened into this around that. But I didn't wake up at 5, and that's what time I wanted to wake up at. That's what time I told myself I'd be waking up at. I've also suffered with some, I think, depression, to be honest with all of you, where I've felt really sad about some of the interactions I've had with my family recently, about some of the things that have happened in my life. I felt really sad about, and I've been struggling through that. And I wanted this year to be like this happy year, this year full of joy, and to just run into the year and go, everything's amazing and leave the baggage behind. But a lot of that baggage is carried over. And so it's kind of like, oh, this sucks. And I'm looking at all of that going, I'm looking at it as those are the weaknesses. Those are the parts that are really not feeling good. And I want to share that with you because I feel that the posts that you see here on social media are like, I'm journaling, I'm writing, I'm happy, I got my community behind me. We're hitting all that on all cylinders here. We're flying high. But I want you to see the real me right now and recognize that while all of that is out there, it's because I have to be that pinnacle of motivation for you. I can't always bring you down. I got to bring you up. I got to level up with you. But I want to just pull behind the curtain here and let you know that sometimes I'm feeling sad too. And sometimes I'm not hitting my goals. And so that right there, that realization is what I'm using to help you recognize the strengths in all of this as well. Because I realize all this, because I realize, hey, I'm feeling sad, or I'm not following my goals of going to bed early and waking up early and journaling every day and meditating every day and all of my financial goals with my business and my 12-week plan. Because I recognize that that's falling off for me, then I know it, quite possibly there's some things like that falling off for you. And so what I want to do for you now is share with you what I'm doing in order to remedy that, in order to fix that. And that's where the strengths come in of the self acknowledgement. And so what I'm recognizing is I'm going, hey, look, all right, all of this is falling off and it's January 6th. And so I don't want this spiral to go any further. And so therefore I need to acknowledge it. And that's what I've been doing. That's actually what I've been doing for the most part of this morning, is just acknowledging all of these things and what I can do to make them better. And that's why I decided to come on today and talk about this. I came up with this idea for Making Moves with Michael literally at, like, I want to say it was about 12 o'clock today. An hour and a half ago is when I came up with the idea for what I was going to talk about, because it's what I'm experiencing. And because I know what's helping me get on back on track. So guess what? This morning I did journal. This morning I journaled. Today I am going to meditate. And right before this, I did jump into some personal development. I know that there are some goals that are going to be attainable for me right now. And I know that some goals are going to be challenging because of all the other factors that play into my life, like my daughter being sick and some family issues that I'm working through right now. So I know that some goals are going to be attainable and some are not. And now I think what's important for you is to hear some of the strategies that I'm going to be implementing. So the first one that I want to do is get into our strengths, because that's what's really important right now. And then we're going to go into our weaknesses, because we're going to end with our weaknesses, because I think that that's really going to help you. So in terms of your strengths, we need to recognize, what are we good at? What is it that I'm good at? What have I accomplished? So go back to the journaling. Journal in any way you choose, whether it's just write down a couple bullet points, write down a whole paragraph, share a story, or get some prompts. I use the Growth Day app. In there, it has Growth Day prompts, and that's what I used today. And it really, really helped me organize my thoughts in order to get into my strengths. And so with the strength part, what I'm talking about in terms of journaling is write what you've done well. Give yourself a pat on the back. Share your wins, share your successes. If you don't write them down, if you don't acknowledge them, then there's no attachment to them. We need to take what we've done well and we need to acknowledge it. So what have I done well? I've created a community. Take Action is a real community that I created back in July, and we have a meeting this Wednesday, January 8th, this Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, live via Zoom. You can go ahead and DM me for the link on that. But I've created a community. I have an expert speaker coming in from the West Coast. I have people that are regulars that have already RSVP'd for it. I did that all on my own, not all on my own. All on my own being as a solopreneur. All on my own as a solopreneur with the help of great contractors and people like Katie Haynes and Merritt Minnemeyer, with the help of my coach and marketing guru, Katie. I did that. I have to acknowledge that success. I've done great personal development work that have gotten me to where I am today to be able to speak publicly the way I'm doing, extemporaneously, just the way I'm doing. I don't have any notes. That's not true. I have notes, but this is it. This is it for the notes right here, right? But I don't have like all of this written out for you. That's because of the personal development work that I've done. I have to acknowledge that. I show up to Toastmasters, Dutchess County Toastmasters. We meet via Zoom twice a month. This is awesome. I'm plugging so many things in this, right? So you can check us out over there too. But I've been doing that for almost 8 years. Every single week showing up at Toastmasters and speaking. I got to pat myself on the back, man. I've been doing that work to get right here for you. I've gone live countless times. I can't tell you how many times I've gone live, but I've been doing it for years. So I could get to a point where I create a live show every Monday and be able to bring some value to you. I got to pat myself on the back for that. So we have to celebrate our wins so they could become part of our lives. Another win I want to share with all of you. I've been reading a book called The 12-Week Year, and I started implementing that in some of the work that I'm doing. So for instance, my Take Action community, I'm implementing the 12-week year within that. I'm working with my coach, Merritt Minnemeyer, on implementing the 12-week year on my Take Action community. And so far, we are in week 2 in our 12-week year. And I've been held accountable for it. So I'm skipping ahead here because we're going to talk about a couple of those things. So the 12-week year, the accountability is the third one. The 12-week year, I want to talk with you about this. So this is how I am charting out my year. I'm looking at it going, I'm charting out the next 12 months in order to be successful in 2026 by a 12-week year. I'm looking at it going, here's my project, and the deadline is March 31st, launch date April 2nd. I'm working on that with my coach. So the third piece is accountability partner. It's easier just to give you the 3 so I could talk freely about this. So the first one is celebrate your wins, journal them, talk about them, make them a part of your life. The second one is chart out the year so you don't burn out. So you need to chart it all out. If you have a goal for 2026, you can't just see that goal all the way there and think that the momentum that you're creating right now is going to carry you through the lulls of the summer and all of the other stuff that happens, the holidays that are going to happen going into 2026. All of that is going to hold you. You're going to start burning out. You're going to start feeling it. So you got to start charting it out. And the best way to do it, it's like Tony Robbins says, you can't eat the whale all in one whole. You got to break it down into chunks. And like I said, this book that I'm reading, which is really, really great, breaks it down into 12 weeks, which is really just quarters, our 4 quarters, right? But holding ourselves accountable in those 4 quarters, which then goes to have somebody to hold you accountable. Make it your parent, your spouse, your friend, your child, your neighbor. Get a coach. I'm a coach. Reach out to me. I'm just saying, get a coach. Get somebody that will hold you accountable for those goals. I meet with Merritt. She's my coach. I meet with her weekly. I say, what did we talk about last week? Because sometimes I need to be reminded. She says, here's what you talked about. I say, boom, I hit those goals. Last week, we met on Friday. She said, here's what you got to do. Boom, I did those things immediately. That's typically why I forget, because I try to do them right away. So that when I meet with her, I could say, Merritt, I did it. I did these things, right? So get somebody to hold you accountable. And so that's what we did. We're working on my 12-week plan. We're in week 2. There's a couple goals within week 2 that we're trying to do and accomplish. And that's what I'm working on right now. So get all those things. Now let's jump right into our weaknesses, because I got 10 minutes. And then I'm doing something pretty cool. I started a Growth Day group in the Growth Day app, which is Brendon Burchard's platform. And I have a 2 o'clock there where I'm doing the same work there. So it's pretty awesome. All right. I want to jump into our weaknesses, and why we might be falling off. Why are we falling off? What's your why? It's like it's so simple, but yet it's not. Because it's like, why do I want to wake up at 5 a.m.? Why? I don't know why. And therefore I won't. Don't you realize that? If you don't know why you're setting a goal for yourself or why you're making yourself do something, you are not going to do it. I promise you, you won't do it because I know that when you know why, you will. Here's how I know this. Every Sunday morning, I play basketball. Every Sunday morning, I play basketball. Every Sunday morning, I meet my basketball coach. Yes, I have a basketball coach. Shout out to Darren Jackson. Every Sunday morning, I meet my basketball coach at 7 a.m. Therefore, I wake up at 5 a.m. No matter what time I went to bed on a Saturday night, which usually I'm to bed early anyway. Late for us is like 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock being like, oh my goodness, right? No matter what, I'm up at 5 a.m. No alarm. I don't set alarms for waking up, but I'm up at 5 a.m. Why? Because I know what I want Sunday mornings. I know I want to get to the gym by 7 a.m. I want to meet Darren. I want to work on my basketball. I want to work on my shots, work on my dribbling, talk about my games, talk about coaching because he's a coach. We talk about my CYO team that I coach, my girls, my daughters, Denise and Tenley, and their team that I coach. I talk about learn from him. What do I need to do? Because he's a college coach. What do I need to do in order to help them? I know my why on Sunday mornings. So therefore, I'm up at 5 a.m. I don't know my why throughout the rest of the week as to why I need to wake up at 5 a.m. I haven't discovered that yet. So could it be to journal? Could it be to meditate and all that other stuff? Absolutely. But right now, here's a little insight. Right now, my biggest why is to get more sleep. To me, it's just like sleep is important because I also know that that's going to help with all the other things I'm dealing with. Right. So we have to know our why. So if you're falling off right now, that's okay. But realize, why did you set that goal? And if the why is not powerful enough, then take it off the list. 5 a.m. is off the list for me, people. I've taken it off the list. It's not a goal for me. I'm not setting a 5 a.m. goal for myself because I don't have a big enough why. I don't have a purpose for it right now. When I develop the purpose, when I figure out why I'm setting a 5 a.m. goal, then I'll set it. And by the way, I'll get there, right? The why. Okay, how is it impacting others is the second reason. If you've set goals and it doesn't impact anybody, if it doesn't do anything for anybody other than yourself, other than just being self-serving, it's going to be hard to follow through with it. Burnout sets in like that. It's going to be hard to follow through with it. If the only reason why I'm journaling, meditating, waking up at 5 a.m., creating a take action community, doing all these things, the only reason is for me, eventually it's not going to matter anymore. It has to affect others' lives. Me journaling, meditating, doing all the different things I talk about here, self-development, personal growth, all the rest of it impacts the lives of the people around me positively. I'm a happier, more joyous person. I'm a more goal-oriented person who could accomplish things and help them accomplish things. So if you've set goals and they're only for you, find out how they're affecting the lives of others. If you have a weight loss goal, it's affecting the lives of others. Make the correlation. It's your health. It's your life. It's your eating habits. Yes. But what about the people who you love? And knowing that by you being healthy, by you losing weight, is going to affect their lives positively because you'll be able to do more with them. You'll be able to engage and be more active with them. You might live longer because of it. So look at your goal and see how it's impacting the lives of others positively. And my last one, and I got to jump off. This is pretty cool. I'm hosting a growth group in Growth Day. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's the Growth Day app. I have it in my link tree. You can check it out there. All right. And the last one is, how will you feel when you accomplish this goal? This is so cool because Ed Mylett just spoke about this. Again, this is so mind-boggling. Remember I said to you, I decided on this live on what I was going to talk about at 12 o'clock. About 10 minutes before I went live, I went into Growth Day for some personal development, as I said earlier in this. And I listened to Ed Mylett's Monday Motivation. And guess what it was about? It's about goal setting and how it makes you feel. And I'm like, boom, I'm bringing that to you people. He said, when you set a goal, you have to realize, how does it make you feel? How will you feel when you accomplish that goal? See, Stephen Covey talks about it, that having the end in mind, and it's so true. Have the feeling at the end of it all in mind. Keep that in mind. How will you feel when you accomplish the goal? If you don't know how you're going to feel when you accomplish the goal, then you might not have a deep enough reason to do it. You might not have a deep enough why or purpose to do it. You need to know, how will I feel? And I'm going to tell you, I told you I'm going to be vulnerable here. Some of the goals that I've set, I don't necessarily know how I'm going to feel when I accomplish them. I have my Take Action community, which you can all join us. That's on January 8th on Wednesday at 11 a.m. via Zoom. DM me for the link. Yes, it's a plug for that. But here's the point. When I build out that community, when I get that goal that Merritt and I have set for April 2nd, when I get there, I'm not exactly sure how I'll feel. That's almost not true, because as soon as I said it, I tapped into some of my other goals and when I've accomplished them. And the joy is just truly just the biggest smile, just joy, just happiness. That's probably how I'll feel. But I'm not exactly tied to it yet. And so that's what I'm telling you, is that we got to tie ourselves to it. I need to meditate more on my Take Action community and the goal that I set for April 2nd. And I need to really sink into the feelings of it. Otherwise, it's going to be really challenging to accomplish it, right? Because you are setting goals for 2026. That's really what you're setting, not 2025. We're already in 2025. You're setting goals for 2026 that you want to accomplish by the end of the year. You need to know how those are going to make you feel. And you know what? When you find out, when you discover how they will make you feel, you can start feeling them today. You can start feeling that joy, that energy, that passion today. You don't need to wait 12 months to feel it. You don't need to wait 12 weeks to feel it. You can feel it right now. You could be like, boom, I did this thing. It's awesome. Live into that joy. And the coolest part when we talk about the law of attraction is that by having that joy, that energy of like, I'm already accomplished. I already got my goal. The things, the people, everything will start aligning. You'll start seeing things more clearly. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. I want to thank you so much for watching today. This is so awesome, because I got to tell you, my energy level was probably like, I'm going to go lower. I'm going to go lower. I'm going to go lower. My energy level was so low before I got on here. I swear. I should have brought it in here. I was wearing a purple blanket all day, just writing and everything. And then I jumped in the shower before joining you guys live here, and was really thinking about what I was going to say today. And in this live, in this moment, this is it. This is me, people. This is why I do Making Moves. This is why I do the Shining Light, the Michael Esposito Show, all the things I'm doing. This is why I speak, because it brings me joy and energy. I'm alone in my office here, and this brings me joy and energy, people. I'm telling you, this is amazing. So when you're just going after it, it feels great. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Last little plug here. Again, we have our live broadcast, our live our live Take Action community call on Wednesday at 11 a.m. via Zoom. Join us there. We're going to be speaking about giving back. Next Monday, I'm going to share something huge. I'm going to make a big announcement next Monday. So join me next Monday on Making Moves. But I will be sharing it within that community on Wednesday if you want to join us there. It's for entrepreneurs. We'll have frameworks on helping you with your CRM and networking better. It's really for entrepreneurs. So join us if you're an entrepreneur. I want to thank you so much for being on this live call today. As always, stay happy, stay healthy, and Happy New Year, everyone. Bye.